booth. But I'm sure plenty of people will have been able to see that in replay. Trying to work out where that wheel has come from as well, whether it's the Hyundai or the BMW. Certainly one off the 42 BMW, but I wouldn't think that the front left wheel of that Hyundai has stayed on, frankly, the rate that it hit the Armco barrier.
Just to confirm that those two Lexuses...
no, it's just Lexus.
...described, did go off together.
Right.
The two RCFs, the 19 and 20.
Johnny saw the 20, I saw the 19. So definitely. We got between us, we got it there, JP.
Yeah, indeed.
So both the 19 and the 20 off. So between us, Johnny and I got it right. Both off at the same place. This from Oliver Giles, tweeted hashtag N24RSL. If you want to get in front of us, that's what you do. At RSL_studio, hashtag N24RSL. So when will Aston Martin and Bentley make their return to the Nurburgring and compete for overall victory? Aston here this weekend, of course, with the new GT4 cars for the new shape of Vantage, and that's what they've done in the past. They've normally debuted the GT4 first. Bentley have got a new GT3, what they call the Generation 2 Continental, which is a very lovely car and has had a win now in the Blancpain Series at Ricard.
Yeah, in the 1,000-kilometre race there.
Which they nearly won last year with the old car, didn't they, on its way out?
That was Le Mans test weekend.
Was it? Did that happen on the same weekend?
Well, it happened on the Saturday night, and Jules Gounon, who was in that Bentley lineup and won the race, actually won the race technically just after midnight, and then was at Le Mans later that day. So I was able to call him a race winner on the 1st of June.
Spoke to Brian Gush, who runs Bentley Motorsport at Crewe. Smashing guy, Brian. He's got a myriad of stories. We'll have to get him on if and when they do come back, and you'll hear more about that as I go through the story. Got to sit him down and talk about his old days with Ford in South Africa and the big V8 engine cars, and his love for rally cars as well. He's rebuilding a Ford Escort at the moment. Brian Gush was at Le Mans because they were celebrating 100 years of Bentley this year, and they had some lovely Bentleys at Le Mans this year. And Brian was kind enough to do an interview and said, as he has done on many occasions, both on and off mic with us, that this race is one that needs to be ticked off. Here and Bathurst, Spa 24, of course, they still haven't won that race, but here and Bathurst as well, very much on their hit list, and they're making plans to return. I also hear, by the way, and this is not official, but Bentley and the LMP1 2020 regulations very much on the cards. In fact, Brian gave us a couple of hints but wouldn't say anything, so this is not official, but proposals are going to the Bentley board as early as this week about getting involved in LMP1 2020 with, I am led to believe from very well-placed sources, a purpose-built prototype for Bentley. It will not be a road car, but let's see if that's true. It is the BMW right front wheel, by the way, that's pinged down the road after that incident. Aston Martin, well, they've got the GT3 car out now. Over 60 GT3 and GT4s already built and sent out of Aston Martin Racing, Oliver. And David King saying to us that at the start of the racing countdown to green, that it is their intention to bring that car here and race for an overall victory with the works team. Confirmation that the number 20 SP8 Lexus and the 19 both involved.
See the 19. Where's
that's
the 19?
The 19.
No, that's 20. That's definitely 20. And I didn't see another car involved.
Okay. Well, they both went off at the same place.
That's incredible.
But not together then.
Well,
the message that I have is two separate messages, I must admit.
Right, okay.
They are timed 2 minutes apart.
Right.
One is to say that the 19 has had an accident in Tiergarten, and the other says the 20 has an accident.
Must have been something on the track.
Misidentification, perhaps? Misidentification, perhaps, Paul?
It is a possibility.
Well, is the 19 still running?
Off the ticker.
Yeah, Dominic Farnbacker's at the wheel, and I think, I mean, his sector times appear very good if we're on lap 32, as we are.
Yeah,
so my timing screen's up to date. I think that number 19 Lexus is fine.
Okay.
But
it looked like there was something on the circuit there, the way it went down.
Yeah, it's an unusual place to go off. I'll give you that. And that's the time, of course, when you're decreasing speed from a ridiculous level, something like 280 Ks probably in an SP9 car, if not a little more. And then you just dab the brakes to settle the car, and increased braking into then Tiergarten and then the tighter chicane at Hohenrhein. Two very sorry-looking cars at Brunchen, where there was already a very large crowd for Saturday night. And unfortunately, don't see the start of that incident. These two cars just appear from behind the trees, connections already been made, and the TCR race leader, Andreas Gulden, right into the back of Timo Scheider in the number 42 Schnitzer BMW M6. And the best sight we see of all is two drivers at least able to step away from those cars.
Just to confirm, I have found the number 19 car. It's out on the circuit, just gone through Kallenhard, heading up towards Bergwerk at the moment. So apologies for that. And it's the number 19 Lexus RCF then continuing on its way with Dominic Farnbacher. So that's good news for that Lexus, less good news for the other one.
Have you also got the block of average lap time for Farnbacher, or is that
That's a very good idea.
Is that difficult to
No,
trace?
we can find that.
It's going to be within the top 40, I'm going to guess. Yeah, number 19 is running 24th, and I mean it's actually setting personal bests on this lap on the Grand Prix track. So I think that's a very well Lexus in comparison to a rather dinged and dented number 20 machine, which is the SP8 entry, car number 20.
Yes, I'm afraid due to the slow zones, Dominic Farnbacher's average lap times are rubbish. So
Okay,
So
fine.
that was a good
I think the
thought,
personal
though.
bests are
yeah,
indicative
within certain sectors, and this is why sector times are useful.
Yeah.
Within the sectors where he can go fast, he is going fast. But as I say, all I can do is look at average lap times around the lap. Moment. I can do sector times later, but he is not going fast. Indeed, nobody is going very fast around the circuit at the moment.
No, apart from Kevin Estre, who's just set an absolute best time on the second bit of the Grand Prix track, a 42.8 from Porsche number 911, and a PB for that car through sector 4, which admittedly is the shortest on the track, just takes 9.2 seconds for the Frenchman. But that car with a pretty heavy fuel load now. That car's early on in its stint, remember. But nevertheless, Kevin Estre wasting no time at all in trying to haul in the number 2 car, which leads the race. The gap's just 11.8 seconds now. It's been considerably more than that earlier on in the race.
Yes, it was up to 30 seconds, in fact, when it was Mexico against Earl Bamber. But again, these things tend to get affected by the implementation and removal of slow zones now and again. Both of them on new tyres, of course, and most of the drivers reckon that the new Michelins are worth a little bit more.
Oh, this is disaster.
Oh, we got to stop the
Drama.
race.
The race will have to be stopped. The 1-2-2 Manta has nosed into the wall. Oh my goodness me. The foxtail has ceased to flap. There's a big left front damage on that car.
Dreadful.
Oh my goodness me. It was Olaf Beckman at the wheel of the car that he shares with Pieces, Haas and Jürgen Schulten and Volker Stryjek. Oh, and he just nailed a couple of cars.
Two cars. So one
was that a steering failure to start with?
And one's Knuffy, which has gone stage right and into the barriers.
That's a class leader.
Number 46.
Yeah,
Dear me.
That's a class-leading
SP8T.
SP8T car.
Except it's not anymore because it was quite close in SP8T. So Team Speedline Racing BMW goes through into the lead of SP8T.
Oh my goodness.
And of course, the Manta was leading its class, SP3.
Yes.
So 2 class leaders.
So much damage on that Manta. Did something break to send it sideways, or was it just a really bad miscalculation by Olaf, who's clambering out of the driver's side at the moment?
Well, you haven't yet identified the BMW that was involved with that as well. I mean, is there even a chance there might have been 3 class leaders involved in that collision?
It wouldn't be the first time that's happened, would it, Johnny?
No, certainly not. But coming out of the first 2 corners, and that's a
Olaf's
sorry
walking
sight.
away, not a backward glance to that car. He knows it's all done. Left front, left rear, left front particularly bad as far as the suspension damage. Left rear looks like it's just tucked out a little bit. Frontal damage as well. The DMSB recovery vehicle, the Audi's already pulled up, and Olaf does not look pleased with his lot.
No.
He's trying to get his hands device off at the moment and hasn't quite unplugged everything that he needs to get that done. And the rather forlorn sight of the Kistley Motorsport entered 1-2-2. Looking slightly different this year, a little more white on the car with the red and yellow stripes, looking really great. Jonathan Kitland saying, that was not my fault. Oh my goodness. One of the real fan favourites. Over 100,000 kilometres around here, down through the years. And Olaf got out under his own steam, by the way.
Just probably contacting the team or others that may be watching live streams to say,
Has he got his
I'm
phone
okay.
out? He has,
yeah,
right?
I think that's what it is. I think just in touch with the team to say exactly what's happened. That's a sorry sight, but good to see Olaf stepping away from the car. I haven't yet ascertained whether Knuffy is back in the race, the yellow and black Mercedes. Just trying to work out which of the BMWs it was. It might have been the Speedline car, actually. Those ones that are painted with the red and white curbing.
That's a very good call, and the tarmac effect.
Yeah, which...
Yeah, that's a great call, Johnny.
They've got several BMWs, though. One is the Z4. It's definitely not that one. But there is...
Which was the... So the Mercedes was the Knuffy car.
Yeah, and the Manta's got caught between them. I'm just trying to work out where the initial contact came. Manta almost looks like it just veers right.
Well,
out of
that's
nowhere.
what I said. I wonder if there was already a suspension problem on that car. Maybe what I don't see is where he got the left rear damage, because he noses it in the barrier. I think the left rear suspension's gone
already,
and it's kicked him sideways, because the end of it, he pinballs between the BMW first, then the Knuffy AMG, and then heads to the scene of the accident on the wall on driver's left, but that was pretty much straight on.
Yeah.
Very, very odd looking accident. Disappointment.
Not all adding up in that, I have to say. And maybe only Olaf Beckman will have the answers as to whether there'd been a collision initially or whether it clanged the tyres perhaps at turn one. Yes, go on.
Through all of that, the 30-second lead that we did have at the front of the field is now down to 8. And that's Kevin Estre closing in on Dirk Muller by 5 seconds last time around, because he caught the slow zones differently.
Yeah, I think that there's slow zones being taken away and there are additional slow zones being put in, because there's a new slow zone apparently now at Flantsgarten.
Right, that's the end of the lap.
And the slow zone, which was at the Yokohama SV incident with the Manta that you've been describing, has now been downgraded to a double yellow. So that's sorry, it was a code 60, and now it's gone down to a double waved yellow, which is 120 kilometres an hour limit.
And on to the Nordschleifer and the Hatzenbach, and that gap, well, it's not